Hello, it's me, and today I will be doing a review on my NECA Anchorage Attack Gipsy Danger. So this is Gipsy Danger after he's fought Knifehead. So yes, on with the review. So first, as always, the box. It's got a nice cityscape in the background, all new figure with battle damage. Anchorage Attack Gipsy Danger with a really weird CGI Gipsy Danger there. On the back, another bigger image of Gipsy there. Mark III Gipsy Danger. That's got some other ones you can collect, like the Hong Kong Brawl, Romeo Blue, and Tactic Ronin. And it's got legendary and all the stuff there. And some legal stuff on the bottom that no one cares about. So first, before I talk about like a detail and stuff, he does come with one accessory, which is his plasma cannon and his just a normal hand, so you can swap between the two. I haven't yet because I just want to keep that on this guy. I might there's a thing you can do with this guy where you can take this off and put it on the Hong Kong Brawl Gipsy Danger, so you could have him with his plasma cannon, and it looks really cool. I can't really demonstrate it because I haven't tried it yet, and the joints are still quite stiff, so I'll just use a heat gun. But this guy, it's not that bad. There are some things they could have done a lot better. So first I'll go over things that don't really like that much about him. So first, unfortunately, they missed a bit of paint on the side of his visor there. And this isn't with all of them. It's only because I got like this second hand. But unfortunately, he's missing an entire side of his knee joint, which is a bit unfortunate, but it doesn't really matter that much because I can just make a mold of the Anchorage Attack one and then paint it and stuff and put it back on there. But another thing they could have done a lot better is with like its big sort of the hole that Knifehead made as he like dug his face into his like just chest, because in the film like this doesn't go very deep here like it does like this. I like that they've got a little dent at the top that shows that it's inside it, but if they just made it a little bit deeper, because like you see in the film he doesn't go like that, he goes fully in like that at least. And I mean, I know why they didn't do it, because it would have made like the figure more fragile and easier to like snap and stuff. But it just would have been a bit nicer to have like a display piece with him like that and have him digging his head into its chest. Would have just looked really nice. But I mean, it would have made it more delicate and brittle. But yeah. Also, this is one of the bits of paint that I don't really like. It's just these little bits of orange everywhere. I'm pretty sure these are meant to be the sparks flying off when he like rips it apart and stuff. So like all the wires and cables just flying everywhere and sparking. But it just doesn't look very good. The splotches are just a bit too thick. Like, I wouldn't have minded if it was like a brighter orange, just with like a few tiny dots here and there. It just doesn't really look that good. And also the plasma cannon, the end of it is really crappy. It's just a blue with a off-centered white circle in the middle. Also, some other paint that's not very good is like this bit here. Like, it's all smudged together and just doesn't look very nice. And it's just a lot more faded. The visor looks really nice though, because like you see this side and it's like really nice and clean, and then you see that side, it's destroyed and stuff. Looks really cool. Another thing would be if they like made these, so these are like the newer scars. It would have been nice if they actually sculpted them in instead of just painting them on. It doesn't look very good. So probably what I'm going to do is like get a burning tool and just burn them in to make them look a bit better. But now I guess onto the positives. And that'll mainly be the plasma cannon, because that's the only really brand new bit on this besides like that. But this looks really cool. Like, it's got all the little wires and stuff. Like, so this is meant to be his arm. So like his arm opens out, so you can see it's got that big gap there, and then it sort of opens up and all the cables come out. It's got all the little wires that make it able to shoot. And also you can actually see these are all the same size. So like that bit, it's the same length, it's the same height, it's just spread out from one another. And like you see that little bit, it's quite cool. But that was one of the main reasons I got this guy, was just for that, because I really wanted to have a plasma cannon in my collection, because like, as I said at the beginning, you can put that on the Anchorage attack and it looks really cool. But yeah, there isn't really anything new. The chest looks a lot nicer than this guy's chest. It looks a lot cleaner and smoother, because you can see it's got like little red lines inside as well, and that's just got a bit like sort of broken, which doesn't look very nice, unfortunately. But another thing, got these two together, you can see how weird like the paint job is on this guy. You can see how clean it is on this one, and then how weird it's done on this one. I don't know if that was on purpose or not. It just looks a bit tacky. It doesn't really look like, that paint doesn't look like it's worth 30 quid. But also, another thing, the printing on these bits, the lights, is completely off. Because you can see on that guy, they're really nice. And then you can see on that guy, they're like a bit over from where the lights are actually meant to be. But also, something that I forgot to mention in the review of this guy is his feet. They're both left. These front bits, you can see left and left. So they look really weird. This guy actually has left and right, which is nice, because that was one of the things that I really wanted. So instead of having the really ugly bit there, it's nice and symmetrical. But now, I guess, onto the articulation. So the head, a ball joint up there, a ball joint down there. So it can look left, right. You do need to heat all the joints up, which unfortunately and stupidly I haven't yet for the review. But it can look left, right, up and down and stuff. I'll show you with this guy. So it can go up, down, left and right. So that's what this guy does do. The shoulder just spins around. This one, it's a ball joint, so it can go all the way around, out about that far, in about that far. Unfortunately, you can't get his arms straight out, you can't T-pose. There, it's got a little swivel there, which is quite nice. And then it's got a hinge and then a ball joint in there. So this comes quite nice and loose, so you can get lots of articulation in that. Also, it can spin all the way around, which is nice. The chest, there's a ball joint up there and a ball joint down there, so it can turn and go back and forward. The hips are ball joints, so they can go back and forwards about that far, so you can get a good kicking. It's got two hinges, so they can go all the way back round, which is really nice. Then there is a ball joint up there, but it barely moves at all. You can get like a little tiny bit of movement. And then a hinge at the toes. But yeah, this guy's got some nice articulation. Hasn't got as much as this guy because his arm's missing. But also there's some other accessories which I think would have made this guy so much better, which would have been, so in the film, he saves that tiny little fishing boat. It would have been nice to them have given that in the package, because like you can see, they had plenty of room to like just pop it in there or something, and it just would have made it so much more worth the money. And then also, it would have been cool if they gave us the other part of the arm. So they gave us the torn off arm. Would have been pretty nice to see. But yeah. So now on to the size comparison. So here he is with his arch nemesis knife head. So they scale perfectly, which is nice. So you can have him properly attacking him. You can have him doing the little where he has it biting like all the chunks of the arm off and stuff. So like, I forgot, there is a bottom bit on the arm, like more this, it came off. So if that does happen, a bit of like another accessory you could do is have him holding that in his mouth and just sort of doing the little tearing bit. And here he is next to Hong Kong Brawl Gipsy Danger, so you can see exactly the same height. Next, I have him next to my brand new Crimson Typhoon, which doesn't stand up. Here he is next to some of the Pacific Rim Uprising figures that I have. So, Gipsy Avenger with his plasma cannon. So you can see how much smaller he is compared to him. I really don't like the design of him. This guy looks so much cooler, in my opinion. And finally, here he is next to the Pacific Rim Uprising Diamond Select Hakuja, who is absolutely massive compared to him. But that just about does it for this review. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Also, before I go, I have ordered the NECA Striker Eureka, so that'll be coming out like the end of this month-ish.